see Sunday's lesson, which is called, it's just called stepping. So we'll go over that quickly, but we're actually going to do walking today. So what you're going to do is your feet's going to, we'll just go over that lesson very quickly. So what you learn for stepping is, this one's at 45. The other, we're dotting, I call it dotting. So the other foot, you just, all your weight's on your back leg, which is at a 45. So you just stand and point your hands, you're facing the corner. Okay, so bend your back leg, and then with the other, all the weight should be on it. You want to make sure you bend your knee, that way you're building up the leg strength and the ankle strength in that leg. And then the other leg, you're just going to use the ball of your foot to like keep you balanced, but like only 10% of the weight's there. So there's almost no weight on that one. It's just for balance. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to point out, and then you're going to make a C, and then you're going to drop your heel down, and then you're going to go forward, and you're going to come back, and then you're going to go back to that position. So things to remember. Okay, so you're here. If you have problems with balance, you can keep your toe on the ground. So you want to turn. Now see here, you can see that I'm not just going here. See, they're lined up, because then when I step forward, I'm off balance. So when you do your C, you want to go past your legs. See, so now when I step forward, see, there's this gap. It's like you can think you're on a railroad track. So when you go here, you want to step over onto the other railroad track and go over. Okay, so that's one. One of the things you remember, if you don't have balance problems, you can lift your leg off the ground before you go up. So you're here, do your C, and then what you do is you're dropping your heel down, drop your toe down, and then go forward. The reason you do that is in Tai Chi, you always maintain your balance, and so you don't want to commit to stepping before you have a good foundation. So you're here, you step over, you see heel, toe. So now all your weight is still on your back leg this whole time. That's why you're building up your strength in that leg and your ankle. So the whole time, this leg, the other leg's holding all your weight. Now you drop down, heel, toe. So now now you can go forward. When you drop your foot down, remember you're on that railroad track, so it's got to point the direction of the railroad track, which is straight, because that's the way we're walking. Even though we start by pointing at this corner, when we step, now we're going to be walking forward this way. Okay. And that's the way we're projecting our power. So here, point, do your C, put your heel down, put your toe down, go forward. When you go forward, your knee, remember your knee goes in the direction of your toes. So since my toe's pointing forward, that's the direction my knee goes, and it doesn't go past my toe. If you go past your toe, then now you're putting pressure on your knee. You're just going forward a little bit, and now we're going to come back. So now when you go forward, the distribution is like 70% on it's about 50-50. There's a little bit more. You're going forward, so you can have like 70-30. But the back foot is solidly, it's pushing your hips forward. That's Tai Chi. Your feet move your hips. So your back foot is pushing your hips forward. And that's one of the main principles. So you're going to come back. Now, the next thing you do is you come back. After that, shift all your weight onto the back leg again, and then dot. Okay, so we're going to do that 5 times. Remember all those things when we do your little step here. So we'll just do 5 times each side. So point, C, heel, toe, shift forward, shift back, and then dot. Point, C, heel, toe, shift forward, shift back, dot. Point, C, heel, toe, shift back here. More, 1, C, heel, toe, shift, come back, dot. One more time. 1, shift, toe, back, forward, dot. Now we're going to do the other side. So you get some relief on your back leg, which has been at 90% of your weight for that whole 5 minutes. Okay, so we're here. we're standing here, both feet are like 45, we're pointing at that corner. Okay, so now we bend the back leg, dot with the front leg, point with the toe, C, heel toe, go forward, back, dot. Point, C, heel toe, shift, back, dot, C, heel toe, shift, back, dot, one more time, heel, C, heel toe, shift, back, dot. Okay, that was Sunday's lesson in 4 minutes or whatever. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our Tai Chi stepping to actually walk forward. So how do we do that? So we're here, just like before. We're starting, our back leg is bent, make our C, heel toe, shift forward. Now you're going to shift back like before. Now instead of coming back, what you're going to do is when you shift back, you're going to lift the toe off the ground. So we're looking this way, you were here, make our C, heel forward, make our C, heel toe, shift forward. But now when we shift back, we put all our weight on the back leg just like before, but instead of stepping back, we lift up our toe. Okay, so our hips are still facing forward. So we're here, we step forward, step back, our toes up. Now we're gonna turn our hips toward the other corner. See, that causes our toe to turn. And then when you put your toe down, bring the back foot up and you dot. So now you're on the other side, right? So there we're going to do our C step, heel toe, go forward, go back, but now we go back, our toe comes up, turn our hips, that turns our foot, put our foot down and dot. So we're on the other side. So you got it. So we're going to walk across the room. So we're going to go here. So you're dotting, stepping forward. Doing our C, heel toe, go forward, come back. That brings up our toe. Turn, put our foot down, dot. Put our toe out, do our C, heel toe, so we got a good foundation. Go forward, our toes, knees should all be going the direction we're moving. Shift back, that brings up our toe. Turn our hips, put our foot down, and dot. Now we're going at the other corner. Point, C, heel toe, forward, back. That brings up our toes. Put our foot down, dots. Toe, heel toe. There's the C, make the C. Go forward, we're going in the forward direction. Come back. Turn our hips, that turns our toe. From your toe one more time. C, heel toe, shift forward, shift back onto your back leg, turn, and dot. Congratulations, you're doing Tai Chi. Okay, so the principles that we're using there are never lose your balance, your energy, kind of like however you put your foot down, that's your energy is going to go in that direction. And there's 2 reasons for that. You're projecting your energy in that direction, but you also want to move you point your toes toward the direction you're going, because when you move in that direction, your knee's going to bend in the direction of your toes. Otherwise, if you don't, let's say you put your foot down wrong. Let's say you put your foot down not straight. Instead of putting it down when you do your C step, let's say you put it down. This is what actually most people do. Instead of pointing straight, they put it down sideways. So now if you try to go, either you follow the rule where your foot goes in the direction of your knee goes in the direction of your foot, in which case you're projecting your power there, even though your opponent's over here, or you try to go in the right direction, but because your foot's misaligned, you're going to really hurt your knee as you crank. So you put all your weight forward, but your knee's going that way and your foot's going that way. So you have to be really careful. So make sure, this is actually really important. Put this foot down, it's pointing in the direction you want to step. Okay. And the other thing is your feet, waist, hands. So you, in this case, you step out. When you step down, when you do your C-step, you can use your hips instead of, see my hips aren't moving. You can use your hips to turn your appendage, which in this case is your legs instead of your arm, right? And then you can go forward. All right. So this is really important. Tai Chi stepping is used all the time. So in the forms,